Hey, how are you? It's Tammy Marshall, and I'm the director of the Emotional Healing Institute and the creator of the Unemotional Eater program. And I just quickly wanted to kind of follow up on the conversation we had yesterday about the scales. Scales is a big deal. People usually will come away from their scales kicking, screaming, like clawing, gnashing of teeth. Okay, I'm joking, but not really. The deal is we're so attached to the scales, and the truth is, back and we just started weighing like back in the 40s 50s is when it became actually inexpensive enough for people to have scales in their home. Before then, we didn't weigh all the time. We weren't all obsessed all the time with what we weighed. We could tell by our clothes in the mirror what how we were doing. And so I really am inviting you to let go of those scales, and I really do know that it's hard. If you really will take this opportunity to tap with me, it typically brings tears, and people have no idea how attached they are to the scales until I ask them to give them up, and then we kind of get into this tug of war. So I would invite you to put the scales in front of you. I know it sounds crazy, just trust me, to put the scales in front of you and to look at them and notice whatever it is, that energy that's within you toward those scales, and the thought of giving them up, the thought of not weighing on them all the time. And and I say that I also have had clients who they've not been on those scales in years because they don't even want to look at them. They're so disgusted by them. They don't even want to have a conversation. And so either place brings just all this emotion because we have been living and dying by that number. We have been beating the fire out of ourselves over that number. And so I'm just going to invite you to just tap with me for just a minute. I know I'm not going to get it all. I just want to invite you into starting a conversation about those scales. And so tapping on the karate chop point. Even though I'm so frustrated with these scales, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I am so frustrated with the number on the scales, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I keep beating myself up over this number on the scales, I deeply and completely love and accept myself and all my emotions. And so we're going to tap through the points, just that number on the scale, just beating myself up with that number on the scale, this anxious feeling about the number on the scale, all this pressure in my chest at this number on the scale, all this pressure just at the number on the scale, this sinking feeling in my stomach at the number on the scale, this story that I have about the number on the scale, living my life by this number on this scale. I'm open to the possibility that it's just a number on the scale. I'm open to the possibility that no matter what the scale does or doesn't say, I can care for my body. I'm open to the possibility that no matter what the scale does or doesn't say, I can love and care for myself. No matter what the scale does or doesn't say, I can be safe, calm, and relaxed in my body. I choose to be safe, calm, and relaxed in my body. I choose to let it go. Grab your wrist, take a deep breath. That's just like one round, and it's all about how you're doing it. Understanding how you have the connection with it is what would allow it to begin to just move. But just in doing that round, I think it'll kind of bring to your awareness what is the story that you have about the scale. Most people don't even realize they have a story, and so when we start to break up with it, it's just like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know all that was there. So if you'd like to have a conversation with me about about your story, about what's going on, and how I can help you, you're welcome to do that. There's a link, there's a button on here or wherever that says book now or sign up. I just invite you into a conversation so that food no longer owns you, so that you can take your life back, have that luscious, scrumptious life that you've been dying for, but that you've been using food to try to fill in the gaps with. So I hope that helps, and I would love your feedback. I really would like to hear about your story around the scales. So we'll talk again soon. Blessings.